how does it feel to be sitting in that chair? And were there any moments in the last 12 months when you wondered whether you might not be sitting in that chair right now?
No, 12 months ago I was always going to come back because my knee wasn't so bad. So I never thought to miss the Australian Open a year later. But of course, after Wimbledon, the race was on for Australia, really, trying to make it for here. I mean, I knew I had plenty of time because probably in actual fact, if I would have kept everything short, it would have taken me 4 months maybe. But that was just pushing it then. You know, I would have had to take chances and test any earlier than what would have been good. But by giving myself 6 months, I had enough time, except if I had some setbacks, and I never had that. So actually, at the end, I had plenty of time. But so I always felt like I was going to be here. So I'm happy I'm here, though. That means the job was well done. Can thank my team for that. And yeah, it was an interesting last 6 months, to say the least.
What did you miss most?
Miss most from here, you mean?
Generally, when you were out, what was it about tennis that you missed?
Tennis. You know, I guess you do miss the matches at some point. You know, you miss the feeling of winning, walking onto a stadium, seeing the guys. You know, it's like an extended family to some extent. Anyway, you know, you walk around here, it's probably the same for you. You see faces you haven't seen in a while, and it's just nice to see everybody again. Plus, I have a lot of friends on the tour, you know, because I'm a returning guest for like 20 years everywhere I go. So it feels good to see those familiar faces every single year, and it's something I couldn't quite enjoy the last 6 months. So that's probably what I missed the most.
Of how the body has reacted in the preparation, but Hopman Cup and since you feel everything is in order?
Yeah, it's under control. I feel great. I thought Hopman Cup was a great preparation. We'll see if it was perfect or not, but the conditions felt virtually identical to me. You know, center court in Perth was, you know, sort of similar size. Court speed felt the same. You know, obviously same continent and all that stuff, but it felt really good. And then practice was more about just managing, maintaining, not overtraining, but nevertheless still play enough to get used to the conditions here again, even though it's the same. But you know how it is, you just have to put down the hours and play the sets, and I did that. And yeah, it's just more quiet now, whereas in Dubai I was really forcing the issue. You know, I was training extremely hard, and I don't have to do that anymore this week, so I feel like it's been a light week.
How do you know you're going to be able to handle the long 4 sets, the long 5 sets that Australian Open inevitably brings up?
Well, I mean, I guess it's slightly the unknown, but you could then argue that it's the same for everybody. We don't play 4 or 5 setters every single week. You only play them in Davis Cup now and in Grand Slam plays. I went through a year where I didn't play any 5 setters an entire year. You could think that that's a good thing for longevity, but it's not a good thing because you don't know how it feels to play a 5-setter anymore. And yeah, a lot of guys haven't played 4 or 5 setters in a long time, or maybe never before in their life. So from that standpoint, I don't feel like it's a huge disadvantage or an advantage for them. And I trained as hard as I possibly could, so I will be ready for it. I did numerous sessions where I trained over 2.5, 3 hours. So I feel I'm ready, but like I said, it is the unknown. It's the part that I can only answer once I've been there.
There's a lot of unknown for you in your draw because you play qualifier and then the winner of 2 qualifiers in the next round. Does any part of you sneak out today to try to watch some of Tiafoe Smichek or Polanski or whoever these guys you might not know who are floating around, or is it not worth scouting until you know?
Severin and Ivan, my coaches, are out and about, you know, checking it out. Yeah, I mean, it'd be good to know who I played. I guess I could tell you what I think, but like this, I'm waiting to find out, and then once it's out, it's actually a good thing, because then you can actually start mentally really preparing for the Aussie Open. I mean, I am, but is it the lefty, is it the righty? It's going to make it's a big deal, a big difference, you know. Is he a big server, is he a grinder? I don't know. So, yeah, it's a bit of the unknown here, the first round, because that's the part of the draw I care the most about, because of having not played.
Like matchup, having missed 6 months? There might be more new faces that you're unfamiliar with than usual.
Not really, I don't think. I mean, I've never known all the guys in qualifying, or so there's always new faces coming up every season. The guys, a lot of them who played futures or challengers still a year ago, who are maybe 300. Next thing you know, is they're in the top 100, and it's nice to see those new faces. It's nice to see the changes, and it's no different this year, I don't feel.
Roger, you will remember, I imagine, what it was like to first become world number one, which is what Andy's obviously experiencing this week. Does it feel any different? Do you get looked at differently, do you feel? Do you have a different sense of perception?
I mean, I think it definitely feels different, yeah, because everybody comes up to you and says you're the best, so you start walking around a bit differently, just feel more confident overall in your shots without having had to play. So it's a good thing, and usually when you win, it solves everything. So from that standpoint, he's only won virtually the last 4 months. So I'm sure things have been very smooth for him and his life and family. Everything's great. What is there to talk negative about? So the negativity goes out of the door a little bit, and that's a good thing in tennis. When you can think positive and feel positive, that rubs off into match play. Then I guess you come to a point and you just can't let it affect you, and you have to remind yourself how hard you had to work to actually get there, and it's going to require that plus more to stay there. But I feel like because Andy's not 18 years old, he knows all about that. I don't think the ranking in this regard changes him in a big way. I think it's too late back for him to also change because of it in terms of attitude towards us. And yeah, like I said, I'm super happy for him. He deserves it. He's been in there for a long time. He's had some tough losses, some great wins over the years, but he never kind of strung it together that it would pay off. So this time it did, and it's great for him, great for the sport.
And just from your perception as somebody who's played the role of number one in the world, upcoming player, you've dominated for many years. In many ways, this year, you're kind of an underdog. You talked about the unknown. You're kind of an underdog. Are you looking forward to being that?
Yeah, why not, for a change? I mean, I prefer to be the favorite, but underdog is okay. Yeah, no, it's fine. As long as I'm healthy and I feel like I can go 4 or 5 sets, I can, go many matches in a row, then I think it's going to be fun. If I feel like I'm in pain in the matches, then obviously it's no fun, because then it almost doesn't matter what your seeding is and your ranking is. It's always the same. But no, it's a great draw because I'm in the draw. So for me, I'm super pleased and that I made it here and that I have an opportunity to win matches. How many will rest to be seen. I'm cautious myself. So yeah, clearly an underdog this time around.